This is the Monopoly Christchurch edition, and for the next few weeks, I'm going to be attempting to play this game in real life. This is going to be a bit of a series here on my channel, and I have absolutely no idea how long this is going to take. I'm going to attempt to do one full lap of the board, but it's going to be with a bit of a twist. Firstly, I have to visit whichever destination my piece lands on, but I have to get there using a different mode of transport every single time, which is going to be selected at random using the spin of a wheel, and I can't use the same mode of transport more than once. That is, unless I land on free parking, where I get to choose to re-add any mode of transport that I've already used back into the random spinning wheel. However, if I land on go to jail, I randomly lose one of my methods of transport, and I cannot re-add that back into the game at any point. But that isn't the only twist. If I land on any of these transport squares, then that is the mode of transport I have to use for that video. Now this could be a ferry, the train, an Antarctic hagland, or an aeroplane. This can get very expensive very quickly. So first things first, we need to choose our character. Obviously we're going for the dog. Is there any other option? Now we also have our chance and our community chest cards, and if we land on one of those spots, we have to do the challenge that's on the card as well. Time to roll the dice for the first time. Are we ready? So our first dice roll, we have got a 4 and a 3. So we'll take our little dog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're on a chance. So we've got our chance card, and it says, it's a beautiful day and you've decided to travel to New Brighton Beach. So I guess we're going to do Brighton Beach. So for episode 1, we know how we're getting there, but we need to figure out how. So I've loaded a couple of different transport ideas into a wheel, and we're going to spin it now. And once I've used that method, it's then eliminated from future videos. If you do have any other ideas, feel free to let me know and I'll add them into the wheel for next video. But as for now, we're going to spin. So for our first videos here, we've got scooter, bike, bus, car, roller skates, electric scooters, and walking. New Brighton Beach is quite far away, so I'm hoping we're not getting walking for the first one. Electric scooter. So that's what we're using today. So we're heading to New Brighton Beach on an e-scooter. But first, let's pack the board away. So I've managed to locate some of these e-scooters here behind me. Here in Christchurch, like in many other big cities now, you can actually find these little e-scooters to rent dotted all around the city. They are quite expensive. It's about $1 to unlock them and then 50 cents per minute. And we've got about an hour's journey to do on these things. If you go onto the Lime app, you can actually buy an hour pass for $13. That's a lot more cost effective, so that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to switch over to my iPhone camera so that I can film as we're going on the ride. Let's go! So now that we're officially on the way to the first destination for this challenge, I thought I'd give you a bit more insight as to what inspired it. So one of the big inspirations for me starting YouTube in the first place was a guy called Simon Wilson. And he actually did a very similar thing last year with the World Monopoly. And ever since then, I wanted to do something similar myself. It seemed like a really fun and cool idea. And this seemed like a really good example to do it, because when I moved to Christchurch, I realised that they had their own Monopoly. I thought I'd just give his channel a bit of a shout out. He's not quite as big as I am, so he could probably deal with it. But I've always loved the idea of travelling more and just, challenging myself to be out of my comfort zone and do something that's more fun and interesting. Took inspiration from Mr. Wilson, mashed it with my own idea as well. We came to the conclusion of this challenge, so hopefully it's going to be fun, but it is going to be quite difficult as well. This is literally challenge 1, and we've already used up e-scooter as one of the best modes of transport around the city. And some of the things on that Christchurch board are like 60 miles away from where I live, so this could quite easily become very difficult. So as I mentioned, if you do have any ideas for transport, then please do leave it in the comments and I'll add it into the wheel for next time. So it's about a 7-mile journey altogether, and we're going to be going the full way on these things, no stop. Like I said, non-stop. Now don't get me wrong, I love these scooters. They're so fun and definitely a good mode of transport. But the only thing that is slightly annoying is that you get charged per minute. Even when you're not moving, you'll still be getting charged. So I bought the pass, which is 60 minutes. and it's still taking time off you even when the scooter isn't moving. And just then we'll stop our traffic light for a minute and a half. So that's time that I'm losing when I'm not even getting anywhere. As a kid, I've lived like literally everywhere. I've spent multiple years of my childhood living in Spain and in Cyprus, and my mum and dad have moved pretty much all over the UK. But I honestly think Christchurch has got to be one of the most beautiful places that I've ever lived. The city is just so picturesque. And that's another reason I enjoy doing challenges like this. You get to see parts of the city that I wouldn't see otherwise, especially not having a car at the minute. It makes it really difficult to get about. And so anywhere that isn't on direct public transport, I pretty much haven't seen. Challenging myself to do something like this means I also get to explore the city that I'm currently calling home and see parts of it that I wouldn't get to otherwise. I would just like to take a second as well to apologise for all of these videos being shot in vertical. These scooters have little phone holders on them, but I don't think they were made in mind of people shooting content on these scooters, so you can't put them horizontal. But we work with what we've got. Just come into a zone where apparently we're not allowed to ride the scooters, so I'm now having to push. Oh, there we go. It's working again. Oh, God, these things weigh a ton. So we just stopped now at some traffic lights at a big crosswalk. Been riding now for about 40 minutes, I think. I've got about a mile left to go. I hope it's easy to sync up these audio and video files. Just checked up on the map and we're only about 4 minutes away now. Time to swap back to the real camera. And we have made it to New Brighton Beach. Now that's almost part one of the first episode done, but even though the card just said New Brighton Beach, we're not classing this challenge as finished until we get to the end of New Brighton Pier. So let's go for a walk. I tell you what, after using those scooters, walking is such a downgrade. I'm putting in more effort and I'm not getting anywhere. And there we have it. Episode 1 officially complete. Next week, we're going to be rolling the dice again and see where we go. If you do have any more suggestions for method of transport, definitely pop them in the comments and I'll add them into the wheel. Remember, we can't re-add scooters in and we can't use trains, planes or boats because they're already a challenge in themselves. Make sure you like and subscribe to catch next week's video. See you later. So we've... No, mess that up. People of the world, spice up your life. Every woman, every girl, spice up your life. Whoa. Ha, see ya, hold tight.